Hey guys, Big Sweet here again. Still working on getting this Ruff and Tuff buggy converted over from electric to gasoline. My previous video, I had forgot to mention a couple of things that are important, and it's on this gearbox. This gearbox comes from across the pond, which, so be it. But one of the things I did need to mention is, like I said, I went with a 14-tooth sprocket on here. I wanted to kind of get the input speed of the differential up to the same RPM as what the electric motor would do. But with a 14-tooth on here, the clearance for the chain, you have to kind of take some metal off right here. It's not enough to weaken it, but it will be necessary if you go with anything larger than the 10 or 12 tooth that it comes with. The other thing that I discovered, and it's probably the difference between metric and standard sizes, is this shaft I had to sand down just to get the driven pulley to slide on. I didn't do that with the sprocket, and I had to go to some extraneous measures to get that sprocket on there. But you will have to sand this down in order to get this clutch to slide on and off. Now, I also had to file down the keyway, get a good focus here, because of the way it's set up. If you notice, it's rounded, and the keyway on the shaft is rounded, so there's only really one way it'll go. So just some little extra tidbits need to be aware of. The other thing is, I couldn't figure out, there's not a lot of information on the internet about the oil that's in it. For one, the quantity and the type. But after spending a couple hours looking, I flipped the transmission over and I discovered the quantity is stamped right on the housing. 250 milliliters, which comes out to right about 8.5 ounces. Now, I went ahead and dumped the gear oil that was in there out because I didn't know what it was. And I went back with a combination of a 75-90 synthetic gear oil, and I added a little bit of Lucas oil stabilizer to add to it. As I was saying earlier, I'm going to be spinning this shaft at the engine RPM, which is higher than what they rate the transmission at. But that's okay. If I blow it up, these things were cheap enough that I can get another one. They do make a heavier duty for the Comet 40 series and up, but it's like $400 or $500, and this whole complete kit was less than $100 with shifter. So yeah, if I blow it up, I'll just go ahead and just get another one, and maybe change my driveline methodology after that. But we'll see how this one does. And we'll get it bolted in hopefully today and get the driveline fully mechanically assembled, and then start working on all the engine controls. So I just wanted to pass that little tidbit along on this gearbox, that you might have to do a little extra work with it. But everything I've read on it said it's, people have had good luck with them. So we shall see. I wouldn't put much over a 7-horse engine up against it, because looking at the housing, I could see where if you put too big a motor on it, you could easily blow it up. So anyway, all right, I'm going to start mounting this thing in the chassis, and then I'll be back.